blue frequencies of the collective consciousness center of the Milky Way galaxy, the Pleiades. Channeled by Locken. Dear ones, as always, it is a pleasure to connect with you. We at the Blue Frequencies would like to ask you, have you ever been involved in a conversation with 3 to 5 people around you, or been in a position to observe one? One where a conversation is taking place. For example, one person might be discussing a certain issue that they are having in their life. Everybody else is just listening and lending a supporting ear. At some point, the others would give their opinions and advice on the subject. Dear ones, let's say you have 4 souls sitting around having a conversation. Then one soul starts venting, getting something off their chest like people need to do sometimes, dear ones, and there is nothing wrong with that. However, in this scenario we are painting for you, the other 3 are sitting around listening to them vent. 2 of the people may sit there and give them advice, give them feedback, with the soul listening intently. Then you will have another soul sitting there who will try to give feedback. After they say something to the person, that person may act like that particular person is not even there. It is as if they are not even there. They just stare off blankly into the atmosphere, just like they didn't hear what was said. And usually the person that's given the advice at that point happens to be as enlightened as anybody there, or the most enlightened person there. Ironically, with the best advice to give, however. Dear ones, it is like they're talking in another dimension. It's like they're talking to them from an upper 4D instead of a lower 3D reality that they are more than likely in. So in essence, they just can't comprehend what you're saying. They don't even know you're there. This may come off as extremely arrogant, at the very least just plain being rude. To paint the scenario even further, picture everyone giving the soul a sympathetic shoulder. 2 of the friends may give really good advice as she listens to them. Then the other person pops in with some not just good but great advice for the soul. However, this person didn't even hear that particular person talking. They just sat there while staring off into space. Another way to look at it is the person staring off into space is only capable of seeing 3 to 5/10 of the spectrum. Bottom line, dear ones, they just can't hear you. They just don't see you, hear, or comprehend anything because you are communicating at a higher vibrational level than they are. To put it simply, blues ones, you could just call this a frequency gap. From where we stand at the blue frequencies, the scenario is equivalent to a language barrier. In fact, this scenario can go both ways with 2 of such type souls. Dear ones, the higher vibrational soul may have trouble comprehending what the person on the lower end of the vibrational frequency is saying. For instance, it would be like one of your calculus professors trying to have a math discussion with somebody who is just learning basic arithmetic. The soul just learning arithmetic may be talking at such a low level that the calculus professor has long since forgotten the minutiae and the articulation that entails solving that low level of an equation. Understand, blue souls, that this is where patience comes in. Too much is given, much is expected. You see, it may be, dear ones, that the higher vibrating soul has lived hundreds of lifetimes on Earth and/or throughout the universe. Whereas the lower vibrating soul may have only lived 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 lifetimes, thus they are still trying to figure out that stage of their growth path. Make no mistake, dear souls, this disparity will pop up more often than not during conversations between souls that are a little more ascended in the mind and other souls that more than likely haven't even broached the subject yet of awakening, or having an ascension in consciousness. Dear ones, they don't see or think about what they can't see, and are not capable of thinking of at this stage of their evolutionary growth. This can come off as that they're trying to be hurtful or insensitive. Our dear blue ones, we will say that it is not that they're hurtful or overly insensitive by nature. It's just that they have a really low consciousness level. To put it bluntly, thus they are only capable at this stage of their growth of seeing what is directly to the left or to the right, their immediate purview. Understanding this is half the battle. Dear souls, it has been a pleasure. Until we bleed into your reality next time. This has been the Blue Frequencies from the Collective Consciousness Center of the Milky Way galaxy, the Pleiades.